I had a lot of mic time thus far, Jay Prince. You sound like a very, very scared man. Like you sound very disheveled in a lot of ways. Unfortunately, you, for you to even say fathers don't matter is wild because you're operating in the father capacity now. But it makes sense because you just said you was raised around women and you're not even facilitating your role as a man because you're offsetting your responsibilities for other women. That makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Everything you said over the years, I get it. You've never really arrived at manhood thus far. Makes perfect sense. So I see why
Well,
you
when
say
you
it
what
makes
true table when you break down the psychology from me, when we break down manhood from my perspective, your perspective, I think I'm more manly than you. One, I'm on welfare and I get to do what I want to do for the most part. I can leave the job and get right back on, get my benefits, right? I get to come on this internet. I don't got to worry about what my boss gonna say to me and control me, even if I'm off the clock. When it comes down to real world, you got to worry about committing a felony because that's going to mess up your criminal record for you to get this to maintain this opportunity. Me, I don't give a fuck. I've been arrested 37 times, right? And so out of my whole fucking life, I do what the fuck I want to when I want to, and I don't give a damn about no woo out the band, right? On certain stuff because I do want to have an early release date, but so I'm not just overly woo out the band, but you and from your perspective, you cannot do what you want to do. You even if you off the clock, you got to worry about how your image going to look from how people like you. I'm not saying talking directly to you. I'm saying people that's in your situation. You have to worry about what everybody, your boss, going to think of you. You have to worry about tiptoeing in life because you don't want to get in a situation where you can't even stand up for yourself as an alpha because that alphaness and stand up for yourself. Most alphas ends up with a criminal record or in jail because you're going to end up standing up for either yourself or somebody that can't defend themselves. And so in real life, you cannot do that. What you're going to do is call the police like a bitch. You cannot really, if you go hungry and go broke, you can't go sell no dope. Why? Because you's afraid that you're gonna go to jail. You afraid that you're gonna get a criminal record and woo out the bell. Me, I'm gonna go get some weed. My hustle was some weed. I used to sell a little crack. I went to jail. My first case was 6 months old
All
cocaine.
right, bro. All right, we kind of getting a little bit off.
no,
That.
it's fine.
You
No,
ain't gonna go rob nothing. You ain't gonna go
I
take nothing. Is
you're
you?
right. I
If
wouldn't
your
wait.
Can I
kids
just
go
ask?
hungry,
Can
do you
I just
got
ask
kids?
Jay a
Hold on,
question?
Jay. True was talking. Yeah, let him finish, bro.
Waste my time doing that. But it's cool. Like your subscription to how you view manhood, your breakdown
That's
is it's perfect for how you see it, and that's great. Um, as far as the video is concerned, like I heard y'all's perspective. I think that there's always a balance. I think having a strict father. I grew up with a strict father, but he wasn't overbearing. He just instituted structure, which is why I haven't been in a lot of situations, and I was very much well aware of what a man was very early. No, I have not been arrested. Thank God for that, because it's not going to serve anybody me being locked up. Nobody. But the video could have created some more balance. That probably would have been, fruitful. I just think that having, structure from a man is beneficial to either child, male or female. And I land.
All right, go ahead, Jamie.
If you don't got no criminal, oh, you talking to me,
Oh, no, I
Jr.
was just going to
No,
say,
it's fine, Jamie.
the one of the things in the video, it was to the extreme. I experienced that myself. From being raised by my dad, everything was do 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 do. We had to tiptoe around because we didn't want to wake him up, and so I saw that you didn't really get a chance to be a kid. You would look at your other friends, and you didn't really get to. It's like you wish you had that. Um, but one of the things that it's like if you know better, you do better, right? And so regardless of what trauma you've been through, I know the different unfortunate circumstances that you experience, they do shape the obviously the way you navigate life. But a lot of it boils down to self-love. And if you're not shown that when you're younger, it's really hard for you to navigate in life, and you're not able to be your most desired self, right? And so I think so for Jay, like there's you in life, you have goals, aspirations. People don't usually just say my goal was to be on welfare, or my goal is to, I don't know, go to prison. People don't usually say that, right? They want something better for themselves, but they get in a certain positions where they might not, right? So you're not voluntarily wanting to go back to prison, because then what's going to happen? It's a repercussion, right? Now your daughters are not going to have their father, and I don't know how much time you spend with them, but there's reasons why we do things for a reason, and you want a better life. If somebody gave you an endless amount of money, you're not going to say, nah, I don't want that, I want to be on welfare. You're going to probably get out the hood, right? You're going to change your dynamic. You're going to give your kids all the things that you want, right? All the things that you want them to have, so they can have a better life, so they can feel good.
But I think I would bring the hood with me. That's one.
That's great.
Secondly,
I think that's amazing.
but we just gonna be hood in a different area. That's just what it is. You can take the
But
nigga
you're
out the
not gonna
hood.
be
You
hood in
can't
the
take the
hood.
hood out the nigga.
That's fine. Everybody likes a little hood in the nigga,
Well, not true, Taper, right? So I would want to be like, I wouldn't want to live my life like that. I think that's the corniest thing of a man. And being on welfare, I love being on welfare. Period. I don't live my life based on what other people tell me.
Period.
Oh, I don't live my life based on what other people think I should live. I do what I want to do. What I want. I don't care about what nobody else is. Who is I'm qualifying myself to? Who
For
is the standard?
yourself.
Who's setting these standards of being a man or being who at the bam? I do what I want to do. I set my own standard. I walk on my own beat. This is y'all problem because y'all be too busy trying to add up to somebody, add up to a ghost that people that don't give a fuck about you. You trying to live, you trying to meet qualifiers to some people who don't give a damn about you. Instead of having those qualifiers for yourself, so you ever get in a position where you need a little help, food stamps, you instead of y'all going down there to the welfare office, you gonna say, well, this ain't the ghost. The ghost ain't gonna prove this. So you gonna stress yourself out just be for what?
Some of us make too much for welfare. I would love some food stamps.
Man, at one time I was making a little. I made like $400 more
Don't
than what I quit
don't
my
incriminate
job and,
yourself.
and quit my
Don't
job. That money
incriminate
got
yourself,
them
bro.
benefits.
So JP, this is
Let me
the
buy
thing.
some
I
from
think
you.
I don't think you know that you're contradicting yourself, but I think you are. So when you talk about freedom, but then you at the same time you say that you've been in jail 37 times, right?
Mhm.
I don't think that is coherent. I don't think that makes sense.
That do
So
make sense.
so explain it to me how you've been how long in total time, how much time have you in your life have you spent behind bars?
So I never been in prison, so it was always jail. So when you had to add up, I would give it about 3 to 5 years
Okay, so 3 to
out of all
5
them
years.
times been arrested.
Lock his ass up. So you never been sentenced to you never been sentenced to like prison. You just been
No, I never went up north. I
oh
always served
god.
my stuff and I always served like 6 months here, 3 months there, 6 months there. Ooh, out the bam.
Ooh, arrest me, daddy.
Got you. I would
But
argue that somebody like True Table has much
but
more
being
freedom to
free will land you in jail.
but this is a thing too, right? Can you own a firearm?
Yep, I don't got no felony.
So you don't got no felonies. You can. That's interesting. I don't know I don't know how all that worked. Then.
Yeah, so I just got caught with a gun case last year. Got dismissed. They caught me with a Glock with a 50-round drum on it.
Yeah.
Now, what I was about to say, being free leads you to jail, but the way y'all freedom, y'all think that y'all free, but y'all really mentally in prison because it's a lot of stuff that y'all be want to do, but you always living your life tiptoeing because you always worrying about the consequences every day of your life instead of just live. I always say, if you don't got no criminal record, you never live life. You're not alpha like you think you is. You not that. You had a boring. I mean, you basically threw your life away because of you in fear.
Well, Jay
The
Prince.
real niggas is the ones that goes to jail. They do what they want to do, and it lands them in prison.
No, Jay Prince. I'm sure we've all done illegal things, right? But
Not everybody.
I'm sure a lot of us have, right? But we all haven't been to jail, right? I've done plenty of
I think
illegal
that
things.
every man should go to jail and get shot.
All right, man. Come on.
No,
Like